What's crafting, guys? I'm Withered Golem and welcome to my Let's Play series. If you're wondering why Golem is spelt with a U, it's because without you there wouldn't be a series. So I thank you all, and if you want to subscribe to this series, please do. But what we're going to do first is get straight into a new time lapse. Let's hit it. And after that short time lapse, we're left with this thing of beauty. It's Withered Golem Towers 1, because I'm going to have many more in this area. As you can see, I've added a big stained glass with WG on, which obviously is for Withered Golem. Not to float me a boat or anything. These giant doors, which are perfect for this. I've got massive hinges on the side. When the doors shut, they collapse, and they, like the typical spring hinges. And we've got a little sort of tower or building on the top, which I have currently set up as a floor. Now we come inside and we've got just a bog standard floor, lots of buttons, although these lights to keep it lit up. And I've just left these open because I quite like these open. I've got lots of shulkers on the floor. I'm slowly getting a shulker monster, which is not good. We'll go and have a quick look upstairs by going up the only way I like to at the moment. We're going up the wind burst, and hopefully I've left some in there. Yep, there we go. I like that way, it's quite fun. Anyway, so we've got this little area here which obviously connects these two floors as well. I'm getting trapped again. So these two floors are all trapped. What I didn't show you is I have actually glassed these off on both sides now. These are ready for this episode, because this episode we're going to be dealing with the new biomes that we're going to be putting in place, and I'll describe those as I'll go through it. But first we're just going to take a quick look at this. We've got a box standard floor up there. We go up and we get to a little room. I thought I'll block all this off so that we can have this little room up here. Now it's an odd shape, and everyone will probably say I've done it wrong, because I could have probably brought this out one forward, but I don't mind. I like my little imperfections. But I do have this area now. I can look out, and it looks beautiful. I like it. I think it's pretty cool to look down there. You can pretty much see everything. I've got some sort of cables going up. Yeah, it's getting there slowly. I'm contemplating just having this as a sort of control bay sort of thing, because it can see. Well, this could control all the flow of traffic coming in, like vehicle wise and stuff. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. It's getting there slowly, and yeah, I'm happy. So we'll go back downstairs and I'll show you what these new sort of tanks are like, because these are going to be sort of biome domes, so they'll all have custom biomes in. I'll have 4 of them. I have discussed it with my friends, and they've all had, well, my friends, which is all you guys. You've helped me out so much at the moment, but these are the areas which we're going to be playing with today. So I've got quite a bit of space, and what I want to do is create some sort of area that produces fuel for the factory. So this one I think I am going to do as the area that the cooling system area. So this is going to be sort of a blood, snow, icy area. I'm going to use the soul sand to create soul sand campfires to create sort of things. So what we'll do is I'll do a little bit of the groundwork with you after I've collected some of these things. See you in a bit. So I think we're going to start off with this side first. We've got quite a nice little palette around here. I don't need it to be too big. Now I'm going to attempt something that I've never attempted before. It is the infinite sort of glass pool thing, but I will do that off camera because I have no clue how to do, and I'm going to probably mess up about 1 billion times. So I'll give you just a rough, just want a sort of lakeish sort of looking thing in the middle, just a couple of pools just dotted around. These are going to be blood water pools, or blood ice pools, where the lore behind it is where the iron has seeped into the water and has created like a reddish sort of tinge and made it sort of red and weird, ionized. So we're gonna have like three little pools. I think that might be a little bit too close, so we'll just dot that a little bit further back. Have a nice weird looking one. Now these are going to be the materials I'm going to be using. Now it's a weird sort of look at what I can do. I probably won't use the ice. We're just going to put some more glass away because I'm not going to use this, but we're going to need obviously soul sand, crimson nylon, Bedrock, smooth basalt, bit of mud, and then a few variants on the others. Let's put some snowballs away. We're going to use a little bit of diorite just to sort of blend in, and then to get rid of that stone we're going to use that as well, and then the other stuff I will show you once it's all done. So I want to raise the floor up just a little bit. Obviously around his side is going to just remain the same, and then we're just going to have patches of the grass dotted around. Now you might think it's going to look too much like the Nether, and in a sense you could be right, but in a sense you're not. Without sounding horrible, and that sounded really horrible and sarcastic. Now the pools, so we're going to just dot this around, and you can see it is looking like the Nether at the moment, but this is not what I wanted. So around the pools there's going to be a little bit of pale moss, a bit of the mud, a bit of the basalt. Now this might look quite strange, but where the blood water is going to be quite like this. I'm just playing now, and this is very different for me because I'm not used to just mucking about with terraforming, and this is kind of like a new terraforming project. And So there's a little bit more lore around this area. What I want to do is create some geysers sort of thing, which create the cold air that goes and cools the system and cools the city down. Don't know why I put that in that corner, so I apologise, but I'm understanding the area a little bit better. Then what do we do? Let's just, I think the mud might go a little bit better, or would this go a bit better? Wow, that's quite a big difference. But no, it's not going to work. But I want sort of, let's just take away this one, because the palette is not how I want it just yet. This is just practicing as I'm going. The plan is round these pools, because they are sort of burning pools. They're not burning, they are cold burning, and that gives off the temperatures in the area. So it makes it quite a nice sort of feel. That's the one, feel. But yeah, it's a rough palette, but I think it's going to look alright once I get this is the ingenious thing. And yeah, don't judge me on this one, but this is different, very, very different. Snow. It's a cold area. It's going to have blood, water, and I'm going to plop down just some patches of snow in the areas where the fire is going to be and where the other stuff's going to be. I'm obviously going to raise up the area a little bit more in some parts, but if you can sort of see where I'm going with this, it's very different, and I think it's going to work. But what I'll do is I'll bring you back once it's done, and hopefully it'll be looking pretty cool. See you in a moment. And this is what I've managed to come up with. It is very different to what you would have seen before, but this is pretty much it. What I've done, let me just finish eating first so you can hear me, if it works. Nope. There you go. Right. So there's a bit of lore around this. This place is obviously a cold biome, and it's been affected by the iron in the ground. So obviously everything is reds and darks and cold. So I've got snow carpets, which represent some snow as well. And where the fire comes up, which is the cold, these plants grow around it, which is sort of a little bit of lore around these plants because they only grow around the fire. Now above the fire we have some icicles. So obviously with the cold going up into the sky, into the air as well, it hits the glass and creates these giant icicles. We've got the same over here as well, where the smoke's coming from, it's hitting the ceiling. So I'm pretty happy with this. Some reason some of these flowers are shut and some of them are open. Don't quite know why, but they sort of, I wanted to keep this sort of dull, drab sort of flowers and vegetation in this area. Very sparse, is it? very sparse, that's the one, very sparsely. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Obviously I've done these are like my little infinity sort of ice pools. I think this worked out quite well. We've got a few layers of red, and then at the bottom I have some of the lights from the nether. And yeah, I think if you can see down below, I've got 3 of these little pools. But this is going to be the coolest station for the actual system, for the city, well, city base, whatever you want to call it. I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out, but this place is going to need some doors, and it's going to need some bits and pieces to make sure that the coldness goes actually into the place to make sure it's working fine. So we'll do that in a little time lapse. So after that small time lapse, we're left a little bit like this. I did actually chip away at a block and I need to put it back, but that'll be a later job. But here we go, so we've got a big solid door now to keep the frost out. We can still see in there, you can see all those other stuff that's going on. I do want to put a pressure plate just there so they can come in and go. Another pressure plates, and have one on this side as well. But here we go. So the idea was to have like machines taking out some of the frost water that will freeze and help cool areas down. We've got some sort of AC units which take down into the bottom layers. I only wanted to put a couple just dotted around, and I wanted different heights because I quite like different heights. Got big pipe coming in and just going down and picking up the water from underneath, which is quite cool. So these sort of big tubes, I don't want to go too big because it sort of takes away the sort of look I wanted, but it's bringing in the steampunky pipage look. And I've got the smaller pipes down the side. And these things are actually the fans from the Redstone add-on mods, so they've actually helped out quite a lot. I could have them turned on if I wanted to, and that would set like, but there's no need to really, because this is just the cooling port. I don't need any. Might put a tank on top just with the pipes going into it, but I'm not too sure. I think I'll just leave it as it is, because the next area over that side is going to be a heating area, so there'll be big chimneys coming out of it. So I don't think I'm going to need much around here. But yeah, I love it. It's pretty cool. It's very different for me. I'm not used to sort of doing terraforming, especially terraforming that I've never seen before. So this is sort of my new land, and yeah, this is. I think the lore around this is that the people who were creating this place and are creating this place do experiments to see, basically see what they can create to help cool down places and alternative fuels, bits and pieces. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I might just edit this bit up a little bit more, add a few more bits and pieces, a bit more gadgets. But yeah, it's looking quite cool. I really enjoyed it, and I'm loving this new tower. I think I'm going to do some bits and pieces over here next episode. I just want to tell you about it. So over here is a dangling llama, and there's a guy up there caught on it. I don't know how he got on there, but I will call your Dango-san, and you'll shot Dango there forever. Anyway, so over here I'm going to have another building, but this one isn't going to have a roof. It's going to be a flatter, sort of bigger one, because I want to do some sort of crane machine. I'm thinking, you know those crane machines that you get at arcades, where you got a big claw and it comes across and goes where you need it to. So I'll have a canal boat underneath. That's going to be a big piece next episode. Is the crane and the canal boat, and I might attempt a little bit more on the different biomes. And you've seen it from the front, and this is it from the back. It is bare. It's going to take a while, but what I might do, because you've sort of seen the edge parts already, I'm going to probably build these edge parts between episodes. Obviously we're around here, we've still got nothing. I've got to think of it, because this area is going to be the cable car, so we're going to think of a big building for the cable car. There's going to be a bit more of the edging parts, and then we've got the massive building. So I think next time we're going to probably try and focus as much as we can to complete the actual structure itself, but we'll see how far we get. And then these parts are going to be probably over a couple of episodes. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how everything's going. It's actually bringing my vision together, and I might have never actually not showed you what I've done with the flooring. I have been between episodes experimenting a little bit, and I've come up with this design. We've got some of the tables, we've got grates, we've got stairs, and I think this kind of goes to go alright. Look, I need to get probably some lighting underneath. This will probably make it a little bit brighter, and you can see underneath and it's not very pretty. So yeah, I do need to start sorting out my shulkers as well, so that's going to be a fun one. But yeah, this episode has been absolutely crazy with the amount I've actually done. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed what we've actually done today. We've actually tackled the main entrance and it's looking amazing. And we started and finished one of the microbiomes to actually help fuel the system. And guys, do you know what? I've actually got something to tell you. I now have a Discord. I know a lot of you have been asking for me to actually get one, so I've got one. It is Withered Golem, and you'll be able to find me on the homepage. It tells you Withered Golem, and just click on that, and I'm free to chat. It's every other day I try to chat to you all, so it's I love the community at the moment, and you guys are all awesome. And I also smashed 150 subscribers, and that leads me on to what I'm going to say to you next. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay crafty. If you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to check out my past episodes.